Hello, all of you, in this chapter Forms of Organization. Today, we will continue our topic that is joint stock company. And today, we will learn what are the various demerits of a joint stock company. So, prior to this, we have covered the advantages or merits. And today, we will try to understand what are the various demerits of a joint stock company. So first is complexity in formation. So as compared to sole proprietorship and partnership form of organization, formation of a company form of organization it is very complex because the formation of a company is time consuming, costly, and it is a very complex and critical process as it involves preparation of several documents, fulfilling of several legal requirements at local level, state level, central level. And for preparing these documents, experts are hired, what we call them promoters. And these experts they also charge heavy fees for preparing these documents. And many kind of permissions and licenses are also to be procured for starting a company. So that's why it is a very complex process and is one of the demerits. The next is lack of secrecy. Now all of you are knowing that in a company form of organization, company arranges most of its money from shareholders by issuing shares to them. That means they're arranging money from the public. So that's why in order to maintain transparency, the government also they ask for lot of documents and accounts or information from the company so that transparency in the information should be there and the shareholders they should not be cheated by the company. Okay, so that's why companies act has made it mandatory for the public company to provide lot of information to the office of the registrar of the companies from time to time. Okay, no, and why it is mandatory? Because common public they're investing money in the company. So there should be a transparency in the information so that the public have a faith in the company. They'll be knowing each and everything what is happening in the company. Okay, so that's why they're asked to provide lot of informations to whom? Registrar of the companies. Okay, and such information is available to the general public also because nowadays a company apart from providing them the registrar they also publish these reports and accounts to their in their website also. So the public they simply by clicking the website they will be able to know the accounts of all the companies. If you want to know the information of any of the NTPC's proceedings here, you go to the website, you will be getting the accounting information of previous 10 years. Okay, so that's why it is difficult to maintain secrecy in operations of the company. The next is impersonal work environment. Now, in a company form of organization, there is a separation of ownership and management. That means those who are the owner, they are not controlling and managing the company. Because in a company, who are the owner? The shareholders are termed as the owner of the company. But there is separation of ownership and management because shareholders they can't control and manage the company at their own or individually. So how they are doing? They are electing the board of directors and then they used to appoint the officials, top rank officials, and they used to maintain manage they used to control and manage the company. So due to that, there is an impersonal work environment, separation of ownership and management. Ki those who are the owner, they are not managing the company. And one more thing is that there is no direct link between the effort and reward, because those who are the employee in the company, they only get a fixed salary and maybe few bonuses and allowances. If they will work hard also and the company is getting a huge profit, the profit will be given not to the employee, but to whom? But to the shareholders. Sometimes that's why the employee, they are discouraged to do hard work. Okay. And then due to large size of company, sometimes it is very difficult for top management to maintain personal contact with managers, employees, customers and creators. Just think of the large company like NTPC. It is literally difficult, it is difficult and literally impossible for the top management to maintain a personal contact. See, in the case of partnership, in the case of a sole trade, they will be able to maintain a personal contact. But in case of the company form of organization with whereas the companies like NTPC, personal contact with the manager, employees, customer and creators, it is almost impossible. So that's why, because of these factors, it creates a impersonal work environment, separation of ownership and management, then no direct link between the work and reward, then difficult and then the lack of personal contact between the management and the managers, employees, customers, creditors. Then numerous regulations. So in company, numerous regulations are there, and compulsorily they have, it is statutory for them to fulfill it. If they are not fulfilling it, there is a provision of fine or maybe imprisonment also. So that's why legally they have to follow it. So company has to fulfill various legal provisions and regulations such as auditing. Auditing simply refers to get the account audited with the CS. They will check that whether the accounts are properly maintained or not. They are supported by proper vouchers or not. So both internal and external auditing is done by the company. First of all, it is done by internally by the company, and again they have to call from any other agencies. Many CA firms are there. They have to contact those firms, and those firms, they used to do the auditing again, and compulsory they have to go for it. Then taxation, regarding tax liability, how much tax they will pay, GST, excise duty. Voting, from time to time they have to conduct the meeting. Then regarding various appointments, voting has to be done in their annual general meeting. Then filing of reports. So annual report they have to file to the registrar of the companies, profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement they have to submit to the registrar of the companies, and other various documents are there which are to be prepared. For example, documents regarding the pollution, they have to file with the pollution environmental ministry. Okay, so these numerous regulations, what it results in, it reduces the freedom of operation of a company, and it take a lot of time, efforts and money, because in fulfilling these regulations, it decreases the freedom of operation. A lot of rules, regulations are there, and it takes a lot of time, efforts as well as money. Then delay in decision making. Now what happens in case of sole trade, in case of partnership, the members are few. Sole trade, only one is there. At his own he can take all the decision, but and in case of partnership also, only few partners are there, and even individual the partners, they can take the decision. But since they are less in number, they can consult and they can easily take decision and implement it. But in case of a company form of organization, all important decisions of the company are taken in the board meeting or after consulting various people, because at their own single person they are not authorized to take decision whenever some crucial matters are there. So if any important decisions of a company are to be taken, maybe launching of new product, growth, expansion, increasing the selling price or decreasing the selling price, So all these are the important decisions, and they have to be taken where in the board meeting, where voting will be there, and then through vote they will decide whether to implement or not. So it is a time taking. It takes a lot of time in calling and conducting the meeting, and sometime when the quorum of the meeting is incomplete, decisions can't be taken and company may lose some profitable opportunities. The term is called quorum. Now what is actually quorum? So quorum is minimum number of members that should be present in a meeting to continue the proceedings of the meeting. If, for example, if a quorum for a meeting in a particular company's articles of association is written as 10, that means if minimum 10 members are present in a meeting, then only some decisions can be taken. Then only the proceedings of meeting can be done. Otherwise, meeting will be cancelled or postponed. It will be postponed. And again, notice will be served to the members, and place, time, and date, new place, time, and date will be given to the members. Again, they will meet. So, in case the quorum is not complete, means minimum number of members that are required for conducting the meeting, it is incomplete. In that case, decision can't be taken, and due to that, a company may lose some profitable ventures or opportunities. So, in this, what is quorum? Minimum number of members that are required for conducting a meeting. If quorum is not complete, the meeting will be postponed. Then oligarchic management. So oligarchic simply means management by few. In the economics also you have read oligarchic market, which is controlled by few. Monopoly means only one, oligarchy means few. So how oligarchic management? So it is said that there is a democratic setup in the company form of business, but this democratic setup exists only on paper. So what we said in the what we learned in the advantages, okay, democratic setup means the shareholders, they can't manage at their own. So what they are doing, they are appointing the board of directors through voting, and the board of directors on the behalf of the shareholders, they are controlling, they are running the management of the company. But actually these things are only on paper. In real practice, majority of shareholders have minimum influence in the terms of controlling and operating the business. Why? Because the complete control and power of taking the major business decisions lies only with the board of directors. And board of directors, they take all the major decisions, which sometimes may be in their own interest also. So it is a possibility, although the shareholders they elect them, but after electing, the complete control goes to where? It goes to board of directors. Just like we say, India is a democratic country. The leaders are appointed, and on the behalf of the citizen, they are running the government. But actually, what happens? Once they are elected, then after that, no more they are visible. Same here also. In a company, many shareholders are there, just like in NTPC, maybe 40,000, 50,000 shareholders are there. So when the board of directors are appointed, so they may work at their own, they don't think about the shareholders. The next is a conflict in interest. So in a company, various stakeholders are there. A stakeholder means those who are having some interest in the company. So they are maybe the employees, they may be the consumer, they may be the shareholders, they may be the bankers in that way. So what happens? Employees they may demand higher salaries. The consumer they always want quality product at lower price. Shareholders will always demand higher returns in the form of dividends. So these various stakeholders, they always talk about their profit or their interest. So it is very difficult for a company to fulfill all these diverse demand, and hence the management has to face number of problem in managing the affairs of the company.